Fala pessoal, aqui é o Bruno Garcia para mais um vídeo para o canal JTF Aulas e hoje eu estou aqui no Cincinnati College, aqui em Cincinnati, com o diretor dos estudos de jazz, Scott Belck. Acabamos de fazer uma aula aqui e a gente vai fazer um bate-papo aqui rapidinho para o pessoal aqui do canal.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting older now, so I'm trying to figure out a way to practice so I can enjoy it, so it's not a punishment. And sometimes it feels like when we practice, we have to work on the things that are our weaknesses, that we're being punished for it, And I want to find a way of playing and practicing that I can enjoy and look forward to. And I have to change the way I think about practicing to do that. And so a big part of what I want to do is I want to play and practice in a way that feels in the moment natural, in a way that I can learn new music or learn the music that I'm working on a little bit more intuitively. And we talked a little bit about that. So part of it, of what I think is important, is to, number one, to set yourself some time to practice, but not feel like you're in a hurry. I think a lot of times, and your culture is better than my culture in Brazil about not being in a hurry. But up here, I think Americans tend to feel in a big hurry. And so for us, we have to kind of maybe calm down and slow down and not practice in a way that feels that I have to hurry and learn this very quickly. It takes a long time sometimes to learn, and so to be patient. You set up a way of being patient with yourself and understanding that it's going to take a lot longer than maybe we'd like. And to have that patience and that understanding that I'm going to do the repetitions until I can get it better, until it feels better, that mindset makes it much more pleasant and more easy mentally. So there are a couple of different things that when we say making it easier to play a piece of music, we say it's easier physically, meaning we have to figure out one way to play it and then figure out a better way to play it. So an easier way to play it being, say, a musical phrase. A musical phrase is from 8 measures. I want to improve that. So I figure out how to play it, how to get through it, and then I start to practice. So for a professional, that's the difference. Many for amateurs or beginners, they will practice something until they can play it. A professional will practice it until they can play it, and then they really start practicing then. So that's the idea of the repetition is to refine what you're doing. Each repetition is a refining repetition. We're trying to make it more smooth, more connected, more beautiful, more expressive, more anything that you want to do. And each time you're going through it, we have to figure out a way to use the repetition to make that easier. Now, easier means I'm not working as hard. I don't feel the physical effort of playing as much. So if you look at Maurice Andre, I like to look at Maurice Andre on YouTube, and he's playing Brandenburg on. And he's just like sitting there like that, right? And I have to imagine what it would feel like to be inside Maurice Andre's body. And inside his body, it doesn't feel like this. It's like, so we have to come up with an ideal of what we want it to feel like, it being practice. What is it? What should it feel like? And then mentally, you want it to be easier from a mental standpoint. So if you had to play an audition or a recital or a concert where you were playing a solo, if it takes 100% of your concentration, I must be completely focused and completely engaged 100% of the time, you have no margin for error. So what happens with repetition when it's done right is it makes what you're doing familiar, and it doesn't require your mind to be so focused and so occupied with 100%. It's like a computer that was running on 100% of the CPU. the processor. If it only takes 75% of the processor, there's extra computing power, and we can do that to be in the moment. We have extra what we call headroom. Is that a word, like headroom? Like in the car, when you get in the car, the headroom between your head and the in the car, the headroom, your mental headroom. So it's so your mind is able to be relaxed, and that's something I think a lot of people don't think about is allowing enough repetition, familiarity to know the music so well that you can even sort of get distracted and still be okay. You can still play it because it's not a big deal.
Yeah. Okay. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah. Ice cream now.
All right. Great.
Ice cream now.
Ice cream. Yes.
Yeah.
Graters. Blackberry chocolate chip.